This video I'll show you another way to create the handlebars. We'll start at the center. So I'm going to work from my origin. Again, you always want to know where your origin is on these, especially if I'm going to try to mirror. So last time I started like down on the bottom on the loop. This time I'm going to start on the straight run. So I need a 9-inch line there. And then I'm going to come out 2 inches and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Let's get that out of the way. Now I've got a bend on this, so again, always put the bends on your path before you extrude it. And let's do a 1.5-inch radius on that. Okay, so see what I have so far, and let me show you what I'm doing. So here's the center. I'm starting here at the midpoint because again, this is symmetrical, so I'm just going to draw one part. So I'm going to come up here, go around this bend, and now this length right here, I can't do the full length because I want to do another sweep that comes around this curve. And remember, you cannot start a sweep on the curve. So I'm going to just come part way through this straight section. And then on my next sketch, I'll do the rest of the straight section and then the curve. So I'm just going to stop right there, finish the sketch. Now I want to draw my cross section of the tubing. Again, I'll need a plane on the endpoint. So click on the endpoint and click on the path. And then we'll do a sketch on that plane right there. And this will be my cross section of the tube, which is 1-inch OD, 0.875 inch ID. And now we'll do a sweep. You just select the profile, which we've seen this before. It doesn't, sometimes it doesn't want to. There we go. Profile, and then click on the path. It'll sweep it. So there's that part. Say okay. Now I want to go around the bend here. Let's hide that plane there. So I'm going to have a little straight section and then a curve, but it's in a different orientation. So let's find a plane that we need. So that's the one I need, except I need it offset over to there. So just do an offset plane. And I know that distance is 9 inches. So I want to make a sketch on there. Now if you want to make these planes bigger, you can always make them larger. Let's hide that one. And I'm going to make a new sketch on that plane there. Now let's make sure we got our orientation flipped around backwards. So I'm going to do this because I'd rather be on this side. If I click on the square thing over, okay. So now I need to do a path. Now make sure you're on the center there so that everything's lined up. You'll see it turn green. And I need to come down another inch. And then I'm going to have that curve. And the edge of the curve is going to be right there. So what you can do is just draw, let's see, find that end point and then come over, come straight over, and then just draw a circle. We don't care how big it is, and make sure it touches on that end point there. And then we'll dimension this circle. That's the easiest way to do that. And we know that that is an 8-inch diameter circle. And we also need, I'm going to trim this anyway, but I'm going to need a line across here as a trimming tool, but also as just kind of a reference. So easy enough just to, I say that, but let's make sure we get it. Excuse me, let's make sure we get this on there. Make sure it's horizontal. Extend that over, okay. because I also have then a straight section of the handlebar that comes off of this right here at the quadrant, and that's going to be a 2-inch long piece right there. And let's trim this away, get rid of those lines right there, and let's deal with that. There we go. I think we're good. Let's finish the sketch and see what we have. So hopefully that makes sense to you. See how I've created that curve portion. Now again, I had to go a little bit of a straight section, so I just did a 1-inch straight section, then the curve, and then the other, that's the end of the handlebar that way. Now I'll need to do the cross section of that to do the sweep. Now I can either draw it. Oh, I see that. That's why. Let's go back there. That's why that was still purple. I need to trim that little part of the curve off there. Still purple, but I think everything else is okay. All right. So I need the cross section to do the sweep. So let's just put a plane on the endpoint. Remember, click on the endpoint and then click on the path itself. That'll give you that plane on the end. We'll create a new sketch on there. And these are easy enough. They're just 2 concentric circles. 1-inch OD, 0.875 ID. Finish the sketch, and then I'll go to sweep. Choose the cross section, and then choose the path, and it'll sweep it up to there. Don't worry about that message. And let's see what we've got. So let's hide those planes there. I don't need those anymore. So that's half my handlebar. So now I can use the mirror tool. So for mirror, first select the features. Now make sure you choose everything because I want to mirror everything here. And then go over here and choose mirror plane. Click on that face right there. You'll see all those little green marks are to kind of represent that. And there's my handlebars. Okay, so I showed you how to do it from this end back, and I showed you how to do it from the middle over. So whatever makes sense to you. Remember that you cannot start a sweep on a curve. So the other thing, and I've talked about that before, you could draw this whole path and then sweep it. Sometimes it's very confusing working in that 3D space of what lines are what. Whatever works best for you. It's not that complicated to do it either way.